So if you notice, we're in volume support right now, but notice we've got an alarm going that says no patient effort. So we go, this patient has this mixed effort where sometimes they're triggering and sometimes they're not. So why don't we go to a mode that allows them to do both? So we're going to go back to volume control, and right now, because they're not triggering, I'm just going to hit accept, and we are now in volume control. But that's straight control, right? So if the patient wants to breathe, they're not going to be able to do so. Let's do something I didn't do what I should have there. Let's set our settings exactly the same as they were. So there, everything's set well. So I'm going to hit accept, and now we're ventilating them in an appropriate mode. Everything's good. But what if they start breathing again spontaneously? I'd actually like them to be able to go back into volume support. We have a way to do that called Automode, and when we touch Automode, notice it brings up 2 additional settings. Anytime we have inspiratory cycle off, that means spontaneous breaths are available, and this is the way we flow cycle and end spontaneous breath. So here it is set at 30%, and that's an okay place to default. Then we see how the patient does, and we can adjust if we need. The last thing is this trigger timeout. What this means is once we hit accept, we're going to be in volume control with Automode. As long as the patient is just not breathing spontaneously, they'll be in volume control. But their first spontaneous breath will take them into volume support, and they will stay there until they haven't breathed spontaneously for 7 seconds. Once they've got that gap of 7 seconds, then it will go back to volume control. First effort, back into volume support. So let's watch this in practice. I'm going to hit accept now, so we're actually in auto mode. Now notice what's dark up here is volume control. Volume support's in a very light gray here, and we can see auto mode is now turned on, which is why it's nice and white there. Now look, I'm going to start triggering breaths. First patient effort, notice volume support becomes black, and there's a green light on auto mode showing they are now in the spontaneous breathing mode. And they will stay there. Notice the pinky purple T showing patient trigger. They're breathing very rapidly right now, so the high respiratory rate came on. I'll try and slow that down a little. But notice they continue in volume support until 7 seconds is reached. So notice now I've quit triggering. They're still in volume support, but boom, they're back in volume control, and remain in volume control until that first spontaneous effort. Now notice that T appears again. Immediately they're back in volume support and will remain there until 7 seconds have expired between their last inspiration. That is how auto mode works.